podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Q-Cast. This is episode 27, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right on. All right, we're back with myself, Christy, and Tom.
Oh, hi.
And
It's me.
that,
And then over here
Tom.
we got David Hofman. And
Yeah, hi.
you reside in Holland?
Yeah, I live in Amersfoort. It's yeah, like a town in the middle of the Netherlands. Yeah.
But of course, there's somebody training so hard parkour in a small village.
We actually have some of the best spots in the Netherlands and a great community. So a lot of people come live in Amersfoort now specifically for parkour.
Wow.
Seriously,
Yeah.
well, that's actually
Yeah.
quite interesting because how I found you was on my personal channel, and you're doing some pretty fly moves, and then we got to communicating
Yeah.
on other things besides parkour, and sent you over a shirt, and you
Yeah.
sported it. It was pretty dope. And you're playing with the toy there. Can you tell the viewers what you're doing there?
Yeah, so I started playing kendama for like 3 years ago. This is originally a Japanese toy, and yeah, you can do all kinds of fancy tricks. But yeah, for me, it's really helping my brain to learn and focus. Yeah, I try to play every day.
Wow.
That's so cool. I got one because of Tom's brother. Tom's brother showed me this, and I lost my mind. And
Yeah.
so he let me borrow it for a while, and then I bought two. And then I was playing around doing calisthenics in this one park, and this little young kid, this boy, came up to me and he says, "What's that?" Like he was blown away, like the first time I seen it too. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you do this, you do that," and he's like, "Really?" And he just loved it so much. I'm like, "Yo, kid, just take it, man. It's yours. Like, try and be the
Yeah.
best you can with this." And then I went to Hawaii, and every kid has this around their neck, hanging from the string. Like they have all the moves,
Oh,
and then they go around and they cut the
Yeah.
string off. They play without
Yeah.
the string on.
What?
yeah, and just juggling. Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
coolest
there's
thing.
some insanely skilled kendama people,
Kendama.
and it's really been a good experience and also very community focused activity, because it's really hard to get going and practice by yourself. So
Do you know what? I'll get some for our gym when we open up.
Yeah.
yeah, we also I know a lot of people selling them in their gyms, and
Hmm.
if some free run students of mine are really in a bad mood, I'll just give them, instead of a punishment, I'll let them play the kendama for like 5 minutes until they calm down.
That's a good idea.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then they can just be in their own space for a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is.
It works.
So
was that?
are you... Oh, sorry, go, Tom.
I was gonna say, do you like the kendama just because like it gives you something to focus on? Was that kind of the whole point of starting it, to improve your focus?
I already had an affinity for juggling or flow
Okay.
art. Tried some Diabolo before. Also,
yeah.
my whole idea about parkour is improving like basically any bodily skill I can. So it's also balancing. And you can also like balance things on your hand, which is really hard. But yeah, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't have any limitations. I just like to work work my senses, basically.
Yeah.
The creative mind, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Sudoku for your brain, your active brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's really you don't have to think in steps. You just do it like 500 times, and you'll be able to do it. Even though you had a good vision, or it doesn't matter. You just have to do it a lot of times, and you can do it afterwards. It's
Repetition.
like guaranteed. It's a guaranteed you will learn it. Yeah, if you just do it a lot. So that's also a really nice mindset to take in free running.
Right.
But in kendama, it's easier to just throw out like 500 tries.
It's way easier. You got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt yourself too bad.
No, exactly. Yeah. But I guess some young kids can do like 500 flips in a week, and they will get really good, really fast.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah.
So do you apply that kind of mentality to your training as well for free running and parkour?
Yeah. Well, what I was talking about is not really focusing towards being able to do a single trick. So I try to develop some skills and think of what kind of exercises I can go do and make repetitions which involve that kind of skill, like
Neat.
turning a 360, for example. I want to get really comfy in doing 360, so I'll do them in any kind of other move I can think of. Can also throw a ball in the air and spin a 360 and try and catch it again. Basically the same exercise as doing a precision 360 or backflip 360, or just have to work those spins.
Nice. I like that approach.
Yeah. And then
When did you start
in
training parkour?
in 2005,
Wow.
16
It's old
years
school.
ago.
Okay, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you did the math because I
Very.
got 16 in my head too, and I'm like, is it? That was so quick. That's awesome.
You're smart. Yeah. 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 When I started, there were like 10 people in the Netherlands, I guess, doing parkour in like David Bell or Yamakasi type of style,
Nice.
which is very few tricks and very much focused at being really strong and condition your body to be able to, even with bad technique, just take any impact or
Right.
and get.
That's
Yamakasi has these really weird sayings, like there's only one rule, and that's you have to survive the jump.
so that's the only
Just
one rule.
survive.
Yeah, you have to survive the jump, man.
I think Cork Boy goes off of those.
Just
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
Back
His
then,
old school mentality.
when you first started, did you go to any of those like Yamakasi meetups?
We had a jam in the Netherlands hosted by a friend of mine, and they invited some French free runners to teach us some parkour, basically. So those were the first events I went to, and then the warming up was do the warming up with everyone together. Took like 2 hours, and we were so devastated. Yeah, we were so devastated that training wasn't even fun anymore.
Yeah.
But
I've
it
heard
was
some
really
stories.
yeah. It was a PAWA workshop. So PAWA was Parkour Association World, blah blah. I don't know.
Oh, really? That's the name of it? Huh.
PAWA, yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it
I
out.
still have one of those exercises I do with my students, and we called it the PAWA killer. And PAWA killer is basically you sit on your wait, I'll show you.
Yes, please.
You on the floor, You sit like healed like this, and you do 100 small jumps.
Oh.
No way.
And then after 100 small jumps, you do 10 big jumps.
Oh man.
You're a sadist.
It's
You like
well, you can also do it with 50 or like 30 jumps. But
yeah, ease into that one.
Original, you should do like 100 small jumps. Yeah.
I see what you're doing there. It's compression of impact and having that spring loaded as soon as you touch something to tack and keep on going, and having your body used to conditioning to do sleight of hand, sleight of foot kind of movement, you know, to keep on hopping, and then do the full extension of the hop. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks for showing that.
Yeah. It works. You should definitely try it.
You know I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prepare.
Don't prepare.
After a few times, it gets better. You know
okay,
what?
Cool. I'll message you and let you know how it's going.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you also teach too. Is that EVS?
Yeah.
And what does that stand for?
It's the name of the owner, basically. Erik Verlaansport. And he doesn't actually free run, but he used to do a lot of judo and some other sports, and he has really good business in just renting small gyms from schools and just local areas. And then we go into the neighborhood, basically. So in every neighborhood, there's a place where you can find one of our teachers.
Wow.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Able to be just spread right out through the whole city.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, they don't have to go far from their home. From like
so
7 years.
That's wicked. That's a hard thing with the parkour gym. You kind of need a big space, but then usually each city kind of has one place, and it's hard for people to get to.
There's not enough people. Yeah. There's not enough students. I used to work in a gym too, and we started. It existed for 4 years, but it was totally all work for nothing, basically, because like the rent was already so high.
Oh yeah.
And now we just rent a gym for a few hours, and then there's a few rounds of students. So it's I would love to teach I have taught in a free running gym, and it's really nice. But
I mean, that's gonna not be tough. You're probably having to set everything up real quick. Yeah. Just probably a few vault boxes and.
Yeah, it's really minimal.
Yeah.
So I try to focus on practicing some mindset as well, and I expect the students to go out with their friends and train for themselves as well. So most of them, they just come once a week or maybe twice, and then it's just focus on learning new techniques, and then they have to use the techniques themselves throughout the rest of the week. You will find that some of them do, or some of them just do it once a week.
No doubt.
So do you have like core things that you try to teach like right away, like these main parts for people's takeaway? Like just certain vaults or certain moves that you try to teach right away.
I really like to teach palm spin, and you can't do that like the first class, but you can pretty quickly start with teaching palm spins, and there's a lot to learn about committing to leaning towards where you want to go. And I really love seeing that palm spin click.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites too, to teach someone new, because it's a cool little flowy move, but it's, you know, if someone
it's
can
kind
pull
of
it off,
scary.
totally scary.
Yeah.
But if someone can pull it off, then the enthusiasm that comes from them getting the trick, it's just a palm spoon, but for them it's everything, right? Because you and I and Tom know you take the palm spin and you try and get the object to go more vertical, and then it's a wall palm spin, right?
Yeah, and then you're basically just doing a flip.
Yeah, basically, stop touching the wall, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but I really like things that you can just explain and everyone can like learn themselves, basically. I used to just learn from watching YouTube videos, so not even tutorials. Just watch a move 20 times and just try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And do it frame by frame observation. Yeah.
Scary. So. Yeah.
That's what's funny now, hey? Like, people, you can teach kids, you know, something that took you years to get, and they've learned it all in a couple months now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but there's other things that, like the old school will always do have like an edge. Then, because I started doing precision jumps only after like 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, the technique was just so bad that you just clear the gap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
just
we all
land
were
on
there.
the other side. Yeah. Yeah, but like precisions weren't even a thing.
Yeah.
It was just pretty late that some English guys came to do really technical precision. So, but then, yeah, you just focus on different things. So if you don't have to focus on the technique so much, you can focus on taking like a mental level up, doing high jumps or scary things.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really matter.
That's interesting how much more refined parkour has gotten over the years.
Yeah.
And some things that even in the old videos, like Jump London, Jump Britain, that seemed so incredible. Like, wow, like that's so big, and then now it's like it's so simple now relative to everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, not everything. There's still those big jumps they'll be big no matter what.
Yeah. I've done in least this manpower gap.
Yeah.
A few times.
I showed Tom that earlier. That was awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
What kind of? That must have been. Oh wow, that's one of the meccas, right?
Yeah, it was a very prized experience. Yeah. And I had been there once, and then I returned years later prepared. Because the first time I looked at the jump, I was like, nah, no way.
Yeah.
So is it as big in person as you thought it would be before, or did it exceed your expectations?
The distance is really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's like 16 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
16 of my feet, and I can jump almost 11 feet standing. So if I would just jump like as hard as I can, I would almost be over the other building even before I would drop down.
Right.
No doubt.
But then it's 2.5 story drop.
Drop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot, yeah. So it's really high. And it doesn't feel that high because you can see like some stories into the street, and then you see the other roof, and you're like, ah, yeah, the roof is close to me, closer than the street.
So just,
you know,
relative, yeah.
Tricks your mind. Yeah,
totally.
It's
like
relatively, it's a small drop, but yeah.
Because that takeoff point has got to be what, like 6 stories up, more?
Yeah, I guess it's
from the very bottom.
5, 6, yeah, and then
Oh.
three stories landing. Yeah.
Wow.
You're on the roof of the 5th floor, I guess, and
Yeah.
the other side is 3 stories.
Wow.
And but now I've also had some students who did it like last summer.
Oh, that
Really?
must feel awesome for you. You train these students to go do the manpower? That's wicked.
Well, yeah, I'm not really training it, but yeah, some of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
will. Yeah,
That's
and one of
cool.
them also. They just flip it. So I've never flipped it, but
That's so
the new
ridiculous.
generation, yeah, the new generation is like flipping is better because then you have some rotation and you can easily take the impact
Kind of true.
while doing it. Yeah, but no.
Send
Wow.
me a link to those students, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
How is it actually landing on those? It looks like pebbles or like rocks on the roof there. Does that actually add some shock absorption?
Yeah, it's like a mat, like the thick mats.
Oh, right
So
Wow.
on.
you land as if you would land in a crash mat, but then it's rock. So I had my short pants on, and my shins were all bruised and
Yeah.
bloody because of all the rocks that came up.
No
Wow.
doubt. Oh, that's
So
great.
you
That's
also
like,
have to kind of look away.
Yeah. Gotta put on safety glasses before
oh my
jumping.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's cool. So it has some like a little bit of
But it takes
energy dispersion.
yeah, yeah, and we just pile it all up together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's really
We just
neat.
push it.
When you were there, did you go to the other old school spots like around Lease?
Yeah. From here, it's like 4-hour drive to Paris.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I went there like 4 or 5 times in the summer, just for a week or 2 weeks sometimes.
Oh.
Oh,
So did you get to like Dame du Lac?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
also really good on Dame de Lac because I love climbing and bouldering as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the Dame de Lac is also really high.
is it really?
Was that
Yeah,
like 60
it's really
feet,
high.
60 feet, 6 stories, something like that?
Is that right?
I don't know in feet.
Because
What
my wife and I were just watching that clip of yours, and she couldn't believe like that structure and that you were on top of it at the end of it.
Yeah, with the drone shot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the drone didn't really give the girth of like how high you were,
No.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of disappointing, but I was just like, no, like look how long he's climbing there, you know?
Yeah.
It's like-
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's a clip of a minute, and I'm just sprinting as fast as I can.
Wow.
It's awesome. Sick shit.
Yeah, I really love it. But yeah, it's the grippiest wall I've ever touched. And
Oh
the
yeah.
rubber on my shoes was gone like in 2 days training on Dame de Lac.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know. They made it very good.
Neat.
But it's forbidden actually to climb on there because some people died like years ago.
I can see it.
Yeah. They just have it fenced off, eh? Even since the old
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, forever. Yeah.
That's why you see those videos of them just taking off those rocks, hopping the fence.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. I also really like that kind of aspect where you take responsibility for your own moves and your own body, but also for basically you take responsibility for all your own decisions.
Right.
And in the Netherlands, there's a lot in public streets that can't be used, or there's always people complaining if you train there.
Mm. Yeah, you get that a
But
lot of like liability concerns.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
or
here too.
yeah, So that's a really cool aspect that you can just follow your own.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can ignore the fears of others, right?
Right, exactly. I like that. Very well said.
So
What are you? Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say, what's your community like there? Like, what's the age range, and is there a lot of mostly younger kids, or is there some older people too?
So I started a parkour community for the Netherlands page like a year ago, and then I just started hosting some jams like every 2 months. And yeah, sometimes there were 100 people or 60 people attending the jams just outside.
Damn.
That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
so that's pretty big.
Yeah, yeah, it
Good
is.
for you.
And the Netherlands is pretty small, so if there's something to do, you can get people from every city to join.
Right.
And yeah, that also really helps.
It's-
And there's a lot of like teachers who go in the car and they drive themselves and they take like a few students and then join the jam.
Cool.
Is everything fairly close
So,
together there? Like the towns? Like, are they
yeah,
is
it's
it
really
quick drive?
if you drive with a car, you drive from east to west, it's 3 hours drive
Okay, wow.
from border to border. And I think there's 16 million people living in the Netherlands.
Ooh,
I guess in comparison to Canada, it's totally the opposite.
that's pretty densely populated, yeah.
Yeah.
We have about double that population over what, like 10 times that size?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Oh,
pretty spread out
shit,
here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
That's
yeah,
wicked.
that makes it also really easy to go by public transport. Basically,
True.
you can get everywhere within a few hours. So if I do a jam, people will hop onto the train at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then
For a jam, that's commitment. I love that.
Yeah, that's sweet.
yeah.
That's great.
Also young kids. Yeah, there's also some young kids that just like 12 or 13 years old and then traveling to a different city by themselves. I don't know. Maybe they'll just tell their parents that they are at a friend's place or
Yeah, sleepover or something, right?
yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
That's a
I
pretty
really
safe
like.
country though, yeah?
Yeah, really safe.
Yeah.
Extremely boringly safe.
I can see why parkour is thriving out there then.
Yeah. Well, thriving. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, the architecture out there, like, is everything fairly compact? Like, I mean, I've seen some clips of various jams and stuff there, and it looks amazing. But is that generally how all the cities are? Like, tightly, everything's kind of close together?
Uh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of small spots like that,
Yeah.
basically. So you have good areas, and then what I like is that in a city you have like 4 or 5 different spots. You can just do an hour at each spot, basically,
Oh,
and
wicked.
then you're not a hindrance to the people, or just move quickly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We do the same
Do
here.
some jumps and get out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate
Yeah.
that that's actually a thing. Like, hey, you're exercising robustly. Not allowed.
Yeah, in Amersfoort, it's a really old, like Middle Ages. It was already a city, so we have some city walls that are over 300 years old.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, and they are perfect for climbing. Or
So
hanging out also.
people not like it then when you're on those walls?
Oh, I had some discussions, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't think
we have you can always just point people towards the law here and then ask them to back off and silently call the police, and they won't do it most of the times. And the police are pretty okay in this country, so.
Wow.
We've had situations where people would call the police and the police would just tell them that they'll probably not come for just some free runners.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
That's like it.
I would
I mean, if
love.
you're on
Oh yeah, we
that's
know.
public property, right?
Yeah, true.
You're not they're
Yeah,
not breaking a law.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the cops' reaction. It's probably just some
we-
free runners. I love that. It's not like,
Yeah.
it's not like a bunch of skateboarders. Yeah, we know about skateboarders. No, it's probably just a bunch of free runners.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love it. That's
And
you dealt with that.
they know that we don't really care. And we also jumped over the police cars in the past. They just parked it and put off the sirens, and then was like, "Okay, guys, who of you can do a flip over my car?"
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, literally.
I want to see that in our city.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes a certain type of chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really neat.
You have to take an initiative as well.
True that, right?
I don't easily get sent away. But yeah, that's what you get after training years and years on the street. And yeah, basically all these people complaining are living there like less time than I've been training there. So
Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
if you buy a house here, you buy it in a neighborhood full of free runners. So
Awesome.
it's free.
So do you prefer training in the gym or outdoors over where you are?
No, yeah, outdoors.
Yeah. Is there many gyms over there?
Yeah, there are a few,
Oh,
but
cool.
they are only used for teaching. And I used to work in a gym where we just have like every day. People would pay per month like $40, and then they can come every day, the whole day.
Wow.
And yeah, like a swimming pool basically.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Just run a free running gym. Yeah, and that's the concept I really like, because then you have like community space. But a lot of free running gyms here are just to teach and have classes. And there are some really cool ones, but there's a lot of competition free running also in the
Oh,
Netherlands,
cool.
which I am not really a fan of myself. But I think it's for the youth. It's really good because it can drive them to progress. And
Skateboard. A lot of people are skateboarding now.
yeah, I fucked up my ankle skateboarding.
Oh, no.
Longboarding, just overuse. I would do free running jams and then do longboarding jams in one go spot to spot, and then after the jams to like a long drive home. Just wreck my ankle in one summer.
Wow.
Took like 2 years, and now I can only do parkour for one time in the week, and do free running for one time in the week.
Your ankle just starts bothering you too much after that?
Yeah, I just need some days to recover.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think
what do you do for your recovery? Do you do a stretch or some kind of physio or rehab or calisthenics?
Yeah, it changed up over the years a lot, but when I had a lot of ankle problems, I worked on mobility a lot. also because I started climbing, and climbing is actually very, very heavy for your body. So that required me to be able to, have the mobility in my hip to put my foot like up here.
Right.
Man.
And for parkour, a lot of my friends, they only just do big jumps, so you don't even need a lot of mobility or flexibility.
Right.
Just, but that's new style parkour, is just like skating, you just hug yourself.
It's true.
Yeah.
But then these people that huck themselves, when they've put a couple more years into it, and they do want a little bit more low to the ground kind of monkey movement, it's pretty wild when they come from grand, big gaps and everything, and they do the small stuff.
Oh yeah,
you're so good.
It's also really, for my personal story, really interesting. Because I had this phase where I would just be an adrenaline junkie, basically. After 2 years of parkour, I was technically at the top, and then everything had to be bigger and bigger and more dangerous, and it would really feel real good when it worked out, and would feel real bad if I didn't do a jump. Yeah. And then I got really depressed, basically, of that mindset, and quit parkour for 2 years.
Oh, no way.
And then when I restarted, I had to purely do it for fun, recreational training. Also because I saw your questions about sports I did before that.
Yeah.
And I used to play handball.
Oh, handball. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
That's a great sport.
Yeah. I used to play it as a kid, and
cool.
Very physical. Yeah. So,
do you still play handball to this day?
No.
Oh.
I quit when I was 17 or 18. Because in the youth I was performing at a national level, and then
wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I had to kind of make a decision to either go pro or go on with my life, basically.
Right.
And then I started playing at a lower level, and these competitions at a lower level would be just making like a lot of fun, and then drinking a lot after the competition.
Oh yeah.
And then before I knew, I was only partying and not sporting anymore.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah. But the parties were also very kind to me, and gave me a whole life after that. So
cool.
I'm also really thankful for those years.
Yeah. Do you find that if you were to get back into handball now, that you would just dominate with all your parkour and all your other skills?
Well, I have tried it a few times after I quit.
Yeah.
And one of those times I tore a bend in my ankle, because I tried to fake out an opponent and juke them from the left to the right, and then I did it like as I thought I could do, but my ankles couldn't handle it anymore. So I made a move that worked, that I still remembered, but couldn't do anymore, basically. So it's really dangerous. You also see it with a lot of gymnasts that quit, and then after a few years, they try to do some flips again, and you think you can perfectly do it, but
it takes a lot of conditioning. It's not something you can just jump into after not doing it for, especially a few years.
In team sports, you have to do all these drills, feet precision drills, and just jump over things from left to the right and really fast. And parkour is really different because now I just do a few jumps, or maybe I'll do a line, and then after that you just chill out.
Yeah.
And,
right. Yeah. There's no one guiding you, telling you what you have to do, or
you can
no
always
goals to score.
No, exactly. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. Or I'm really easy with getting distracted as well, because often you see a challenge and then it's a good character if you have a challenge and you bite into it, and you will not stop before you make it. But yeah, that mentality kind of crushed me. So now I just get distracted really quickly, and then it's fine. Like, oh no, this scares me. That's also fun. I'll just do the other thing, and then
right.
and get really creative. Yeah,
That you definitely
that's why
are.
I also.
You're
Thank
really
you.
creative in your flow. It's so awesome to watch you.
Yeah. You have to keep it fun also. I have to keep it fun for myself. So I need new spots with new walls, with new people, and a move I've never done before. And and it keeps working. I find something new every training.
I love it. So I find with the sport too.
It's magical.
It certainly is, right? All you need is a mind and a body and the willingness to use them both.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I learned to do parkour at like the age of 18 years old or something. But I think as a child or as a kid, it's just natural. Unless someone willingly tries to make you stop having this movement attitude, you will keep it.
Oh yeah.
That's so yeah. If you teach children parkour, they will never forget it.
No, I love that. I wish someone had taught me that when I was young too, instead of just playing. That there's like a productive play, and it was called parkour or something.
Yeah, or productive. Yeah, it's just playing with curiosity, I guess.
And I like that as we get older because we tend to lose that creativity with our bodies, and it's really nice to get us back into like the carefree kid-like attitude, especially with our bodies, let alone with our minds. And I think it just like makes us younger as we get older.
Yeah, and also psychologically, I will let go when I'm just moving, especially if I'm in a flow. Because most of the moves I do, I don't have to try hard for anymore. I can just do them, and then often with our friends we just do freestyle basically. So put up some music, and then just like breakdancing, you would all gather up at a spot, and then one of them just does something off the top, starts moving a little bit, and without even thinking about what you're going to do.
Cool.
And that's sort of, I think, that kind of flow. You can keep moving for like a minute or something before you snap out back into reality. Or pure flow, and I really love that. But you can also get into the pure flow if you're already have a little bit of skill, or not even. You can do it on your first session.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Being mindful of your time, do you want to break down into our last 3 questions there, Tom?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
Cool.
Which one do you want to do for? Okay, let's do top 5 favorite athletes, or just ones like not in any order. Ones that you follow that you like really enjoy watching, or someone you know.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a friend of mine right now, Jasper, that's his name. And I've been training with him for like 2 years.
Nice.
And he is also managing a free running gym right now.
Cool, right on.
He's doing really well for himself.
That's awesome.
And yeah, he jumps distances. It's crazy. Also really tall. So
Cool.
Oh,
there's some really tall free runners out
There
there
is.
who can jump ridiculous distances. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, everyone should check him out. Yeah, basically.
Definitely.
nice.
And the other, like, there's also another Dutch free runner who I've been a fan of for years. His name is Michel, and he also practices all kinds of dancing
Cool.
and theater, and all his runs are like flowy in a sort of theatrical way, which is also really special.
Kind of like
That's
stage acting flow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. Yeah,
Maybe like
and
a
then
little
he
more
does.
thought put in them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really neat.
he does moves. For myself, I have this idea that a lot of moves look ugly when I do them, like half turns off of a wall or something. Like this is nothing basically, and I really envy people who just do all these cut up moves or versions that
Gotcha.
are. Yeah, I'm happy you understand.
No, I do. I totally do. Yeah.
Like this is a non-move. I'm not going to be cool enough doing that or something. Really judgmental.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, cartwheels started making a big comeback. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just free. And I really like fresh content. So everyone that has its own style, basically, really love the whole thing where nowadays people do grabs and like grab a leg and then flip over a wall and then just sort of inline skating influence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some other freerunners. I've always looked up to Daniel Ilobaka, but
Nice one.
he kind of quit the scene a little bit.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people just, age out of it, or have other life things coming on, or even working on something.
Yeah, I also really fell out of the scene, but got back into it like a few years later.
I think it happens. It's like rock climbing or jiu-jitsu usually comes in or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after training that long for that many years, you're gonna have ups and downs and come in and out of it.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter because like all the things I find cool and I enjoy about parkour, I can also do all of the other activities in my life with the same sort of playful mindset.
Of course, right on.
So, yeah, all these skills are transferable, basically. Yeah, makes it easy. Easy not to be focused too much.
Right.
Do you have another question?
I guess we can go into your top 5 training places.
Yeah.
Your places you like to train or places you want to train at.
I've been to so many places.
Yeah, I really like a city in Belgium. It's called Louvain-la-Neuve. It's sort of a university city on top of a hill.
Yeah.
You've probably seen some clips of it. It has a square full of white walls, and they also have some. I've been there like quite often because if we go to France, we can always go to this spot first. So
That's awesome.
So it's like a check. It's a halfway checkpoint or something, and but the architecture there is really cool, and also slept on a roof there, and can just it's always an adventure.
To be overseas.
Have some 5-star rooftops to sleep on.
Yeah.
It's always good. And then the best spots. Yeah, I really want to go to Portugal or Spain.
Yeah.
Lisbon.
And, those are
but yeah, most of
spots.
Yeah, and also for the communities over there.
Right on.
That's it about spots. I think I don't really. I just want new spots basically all the time.
That's how I
It
feel.
doesn't even have to be. It doesn't have to be a good spot or anything.
I just have that parkour vision as well. I was in another province earlier this week, and it's called Kenora. And as you drive through this little town, you see the slanted wall and the progression that someone can do, or or you can tack off of that sign pole and do a cat hang or something. It's just the vision will always be there, even if you're doing parkour or not, I believe. Yeah, and there will always be a new spot. Like when I'm waiting for my French fries outside of a place, I have a parking spot line and a curb, and I'm practicing my 180s, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a new spot, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You're
okay.
also just working. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like you're killing time. You're not on your phone. I didn't bring my thing here, but all right. So we're gonna get to the last question here. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. You really brought a different clarity to some of the aspects of parkour that I've been questioning myself. But now you've answered them, so now I can bring them forward in our community here. So that's great. But the last question is, what is sage advice? What advice would you give someone either in the community already, or coming up into the community, or just thinking, or well into parkour that you would give them advice?
Yeah.
Always $1 million question.
Advise. It's a really good question. Yeah. I don't know. I really want everyone to try out for themselves what they think is a good spot, or what they think are good people to train with, or what they think are good exercises, and it's just experiencing all of it basically first, without as a guest maybe. I always feel like I'm a guest on a spot, and the spot makes me want to do something. It turn the roles around. Cool. What does this spot invite you to do?
Huh.
Right.
What is this spot? Why is this spot different? And what does this area invite me to make on it? And that really helps me in being creative, I think. Yeah.
That's a totally spiritual aspect of it. Thanks, David, for coming on the podcast. I've been really wanting to talk to you in a long time, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to. We'll have to have you on again. We could definitely go longer. There's always more to talk about for sure.
Yeah, I would like to get into one of the sort of more mindful, in-depth sort of philosophical discussion about a jump or a movement.
Yeah, we'll
Please.
definitely have to do that.
That's right up my alley. Will you come back and have more time for that?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome.
I really liked it so far.
We haven't been there yet with a really philosophical way of approaching anything in parkour yet. So that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Tom knows that.
I really felt like you guys already understood like all the small connections I made. So.
Oh, cool! Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks for.
I always skip a few steps, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's always some things when talking about parkour where the parkour people will understand, but maybe if there's any non-parkour people listening, then they might be.
You can tell.
What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you rambling on about?
Yeah.
What's a manpower?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we should maybe have breakdowns of some of this stuff. Hey, after. So the manpower is a gap in France.
It's iconic.
Yeah, but there's so much more to say about what you experience in doing that kind of a jump.
Yeah.
And hanging in the middle in the air at that moment. And you're actually, everyone that did that jump was at one point in time there in the middle of the air feeling exactly the same way,
Right.
That's also those kind of things are really like powerful experiences.
They really are. Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's do another podcast and really go deep with that, because I know that would really put my intrigue on getting to like what your body, your emotions going through. And I watched this Red Bull I'll show it to you both, but this Red Bull motocross guy goes on this huge jump and he gets so much air, right? And then he jumps off of his bike and you're like, what's happening?
Oh yeah.
And then he pulls the parachute and you're like, oh. Then when he gets down on the ground,
the clip,
and he goes, yeah. And you know that feeling when he goes, yeah. And you're like, that right there. When you get a line and you do something, or you bang it off one timer, and you get that, yeah. That's what parkour is all about.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Dave. You're coming back. And we'll take it from there. Tell everyone what's your handle and how they can find you.
So you can follow me on Insta, and my handle is David0, I think. Let me check.
Yeah, it is. It is
0. Yeah, and then with 2 O's. Yeah. And I also have a different page that's called Parkour Culture NL.
That's right.
From the Netherlands, and really. Most of the times I like to put all my videos over there to support the culture.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking to us.
Okay. Yeah. Have a good day. I'll be off to my bed soon.
Yeah. Thanks for staying up late with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And thanks everyone for listening.
Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
See ya.